Hello everyone, Esto here, and today I am going to show you the Mines of Morinia, which are one of my favorite places to farm when I have a mid-game character. This dungeon, let me expand the map to show you. I can't seem to expand the map to show you, but let's try again. Yeah. It's close to the city of Grey and to the city of Moon in here. For reference, Britain is all the way over there, and here is you, and here is Davogard. You will come around this mountain and find this entrance right here. Let me reduce my maps. And there we go. This is the entrance. As you can see, there's a lot of poison around, which is a little spoiler for what you're going to find. This is a normal difficulty dungeon, and here we have Masala, which is the mage that we took to the fires of hell. As you can see, it's a very large first floor. There are many rooms in here, and there are quite a few things that you should be wary of when you are around. First off, there are those mushrooms that can be trapped, and there is a gigantic amount of poisoning enemies. These metallic elementals can be a lot of work. There are all sorts of elementals in here, but they don't deal very well with lightning attacks. Let's go down here first. Of course, this is a mine. You can do a lot of... You probably shouldn't be doing mining here because of the monsters, but you can. There's these Entar monsters, which are big ass ants that are not too bad. Then loads of spiders. Even a forge that you can smelt your ores. In Ruins and Riches, the regular version, you can get drops of metal from the elementals that you can smelt here, but that doesn't seem to happen in Akalabeth. Always, if you're a mage, always make sure you have your Orb of Trap Removal on. And I also like to run protection to avoid my spells failing due to taking damage. Red spiders are really nasty. Their poisons can be awful. So keep your range, especially if you don't have your healing up. If you don't have healing 60, you probably shouldn't be anywhere near this place. The name suggests that this is this game's version of Moria, which is amusing because Moria was not a mine, it was a kingdom, as Gimli would say. There is this big section on the side that has a lot of elementals and some water-themed monsters. Let's leave the beetle alone. And those metallic beetles have a gigantic amount of health. Let's take this one down. 106 for damage was about 30% of its health. They do a lot of... This is a transgender beetle apparently. You can get a lot of good stuff from them. Just be careful if you cannot beast them because they will poison you. I'm ignoring the loot with this character because she is very strong and probably doesn't need whatever drops here. I'm just taking a quick look every once in a while to see if anything fancy goes. A water strider. Oh, that was too far. Let's see if we can drag a few more monsters. Antlions are decent tames, if I'm not mistaken. There's nothing up there usually. It's good practice to just roam around this place. Most monsters are physical hitting, and they have a very high base poison damage. So if you can have your poison resist up, this is a good place to train. Also, if you are past 60 in your healing and anatomy, this is a great place to train your healing up. Mostly because you will get poisoned a lot, and that can be a lot of blocks for your skills. We got paralyzed by the tarantula. Never mind. Let's go to this big roaming here. Let's drag a few more of them together. Spino Elemental. The elementals are pretty much the same, those that use this model. That might have been a few too many monsters because I forgot about the paralyzings. But we can probably deal with them. Yeah, nothing to worry too much about. You can just take your time here, you should be fine, dragging them one by one. They do love to paralyze me, don't they? What is this? Flaming head dude, thank you very much. This character is mostly interested in getting decorations, but every once in a while you get a good drop in here. Quartz Elemental. There's a room to the side that usually has one of those metallic beetles. Let's bard him. Two beetles can be quite nasty together, so pull them one at a time. Because bones always, they act like loot boxes in this game. You can get a lot of random stuff from them. It's good practice to pick them up if you have the inventory space. Just don't open them while you are in the dungeon unless you're taking a short break, because there can be a lot of weight in there. Let's remove this poison. Let's try to remove this poison. I have a smart heal macro here. It targets the tries to use cure because I have a lot of skill. Then is much faster than the casting the arch cure, that greater poison heal. Now we go up to the final room of the first floor. Beetles are a decent tame. They do hit hard, they do poison, which is something nice to keep in mind. Let's try to get this ant lion and this ant thing here at the end. Didn't want to come? Yeah, thank you. They paralyze me. If you step into acidic ether, you will take damage. So if you're squishy, be very careful with that. You can always teleport away, and that keeps you safe. It broke from my bargain. There was a little hammer dropping on me. This was this monster using a crushing blow. It gives some extra damage and removes your stamina. Hold on, let me hit the right button. Yes. And it gives you some stamina damage, which can be a nightmare if you're running for your life. Now here we go up and into the second level. As you can see, there weren't many chests in this dungeon, just a few bodies. Oh yeah, that was much. But even so, the mob density is good enough that you don't miss out on too much loot. Here you can see the map, that there's a looping ring in there. Let's take a look at it. Leave the spider here. And we can see our ants, an enkag, which came straight up from Baldur's Gate, and a nastier scorpion. I should have kept a counter of how many times I was poisoned in here, because even though Masala is a mage, she likes to get close. When I was leveling her up, before I had macroed her skills up to how, I used to run parry in here just to keep her a bit safer, but now she doesn't need it, so I dropped it for inscription, which is something I'll need later on. Here in this section of the dungeon, you will get many more chests. More to make up for the somewhat barren first floor. Once you know the layout, you can of course just beeline towards the rooms that have things that you're interested in. But for the sake of education, I'm going to show you all the rooms. The soldiers are a bit stronger than the regular Antars, but not by much. It's just tank. get them going. If they catch up, we'll kill us. Here we have an entire lord. Taking poison would really badly to our spellcasters. Jar of acidic ichor. I don't remember why this is used, but let's take it. They have some nice models. Is this locked? Yes. Anyway. We take it as slow as you need to be. This game isn't a race. We're playing single player. The important thing is to make it an enjoyable experience for you. Here we can go down to the next part of the dungeon, but let's explore the remaining rooms here. Some more beetles. Did I go through the main hall to the large rooms here? I don't think I did. Let's go there. Hello, soldier. Can you please come? Beetles, mantis. An agapite's chest. Those books are decoration, I believe. I haven't found like a quest that references them or anything. So you can just ignore them unless you have a reason not to. Bunch of rooms with random enemies. And in here there's another chest for us. That is locked or something. Since they're grouped together so nicely, let's take them down. I think that I still have quite a few dungeons to do here in Cesaria, and after that I'll probably start covering Lodaria, which is where you should go next. But maybe I'll wait until my Victoria, the character that I'm using in my Let's Play, clears all the regular Cesaria dungeons and goes to Lodaria. So it gets a bit of an easier progression. I'm mainly doing these dungeon guides. So if you don't want to follow an entire Let's Play, you can come here quickly and take a look at what you're getting yourself into. The King Spider, straight from Warcraft 3. What do you have for a spider? Nothing. Well, anyway. This is the character that I used to do like endgame farming. It's much more reliable than Mayoshi, which was the one I used in the first few videos in here. Which is my Fencer Poisoner character. And it has a much higher area of effect capabilities, which are very important when doing with the tougher dungeons, because there's a lot of monsters in there. As you can see, when you leave the walled section, you can take two different paths. This one has a corpse, some scorpions, and another forge. Let's see what the corpse has. Yep. A statue. Let's take the statue. Just as a memento from this place. going down, we find a rune beetle, which is an amazing thing. It poisons really hard, and it has access to a lot of good attacks, and it's one of the main reasons why you should be here. You should come to this place. It's a great pet to have. We got a potion of might, thank you. And, oh no, this is a bone pile, not an actual loot box. Never mind. We were getting thirsty and we are out of water, so let's... Can't I? Thank you. This milk, it's probably past its prime, but it still didn't poison us or anything. Anyway, moving on. There's another wing here with a few more monsters that you can face. Let's go all the way down. An antlion, a fancy scorpion, which, as you have seen, this is also a great place for you to get the poison blends. I used to come here a lot to get stuff to when I was getting my poison character ready, because there's a really high amount of spiders, and you can get the poisons and use them on your weapons. Just a spider and another corpse. Red spider poison is a bit harder to cure, but nothing we can deal with. This character has a lot of natural regeneration, both of mana and health, which saves me a lot of work on harder fights. Let's go to this big section, if I can't find a way to get past those stalagmites. Sorcerer robe. It's okay. One teleport is all it takes to get past most hurdles in this game. This thing can paralyze us if we run through, so let's take it down. This is what I was talking about. There's a lot of deadly and greater venom sacs here that can save you a gigantic amount of nightshade. And up there, as you can see, there's a big poison lake of sorts. Let's move on. And go up. Surrounding the poison lake, there's a lot of poisonous beetles, which are slightly stronger beetles, but nothing to worry too much about. What is this? Oh, a rabbit food. Nice. Haven't seen one in this color. Healing the poison while we are still safe-ish feels kind of a waste, because I am just going to be poisoned again. My spells will not fail because of damage due to my protection. So poison isn't as crippling as it is for a regular mage. But it's still something to take in mind. And that's this section done. Come on, heal. Ready? Heal. should just drag the stronger heal on my shortcuts here. Now let's go down to one of the more interesting parts of this dungeon, which is the final floor. We go down, then to the left, and we get to a gigantic room. Let's take a look at this. Free view. Where's free view? This is where I spend a lot of time gearing up my characters. Let's make it smaller, like this. No free view anymore. There are just so many rooms in here. You can spend a lot of time in this place. The monsters aren't incredibly dangerous as well, except from the big beetles and rune beetles. But it takes some getting used to, or a metric ton of cure potions. As you have noticed, we haven't found any stealables on the first floor as well, which is something to consider. If you're a thief, coming to this place might not be a great use of your time. There is one, but it's on the third floor after a very long walk. Am I close enough to get this? I got, oh, it's a trinket. Never mind. And in here we have the serpent's pouch. If you have stealing, take that with you. But Marcella is very evil, but she's not a thief. Here there is another room up that we haven't seen. Aggro seems to be a bit weird in here. Sometimes they're attacking me immediately, sometimes they're not. Maybe the place is just too big for them to load up properly. Let's go all the way to here. And finish up this wing of the dungeon. Few empty rooms, which is always disappointing, but you never know what you will find. This is cider. Now we look back and proceed to the next wing of this gigantic dungeon. A worker, an unguarded barrel. I mean, sort of guarded, you have to get past the beetles. Some people have asked me on Discord why I use this instead of the regular UO bag, and as much as I love the nostalgia of it, I just don't think it's very efficient, even with trapped loot, to use it, because you spend so much time trying to figure out where your stuff is, especially if you have many items. This one is very easy and very convenient. Once I found this on this client that is called TAS UO, I couldn't quite go back to the previous ones. I was even playing Outlands before that, but I missed this so much when I am not using it that I would just rather play this instead. Which is a shame, because Outlands was a lot of fun. Let's go to these rooms that will get us pretty close to finalizing this wing. Here we finally have an ank, which is very out of the way. So you come here, if you need a res, you need to come all the way down. It's usually a really good practice to go all the way up to the ank first if you're going to spend some time in the dungeon, and to kill everything in the path so that you can safely, somewhat safely, resurrect and then get back to your corpse. I don't die very much because I tend to play more conservatively, but it's still a good thing to have in mind. Oh, we already came here. So we are done with the walled section, and now there's this giant maze. And here, there are a few large rooms, which are obviously what you should be focusing on. And as you can imagine, you're going to get poisoned in here a lot. I don't know why they aren't aggroing. Oh, they are. Never mind. Yeah, it seems to be running a bit slow, like they aren't as aggressive as they usually are. Now we get the elementals back. Now we have an elementalist spell from spell book from an elemental. That's nice. This section is slightly harder to navigate on my Wraith because it's hard to tell where she is exactly. Here we have a boss, a really big ant. Let's make quick work of it. Peace again. And we get a treasure heart. And a fancy frog, look at that. Let's see what we can get from this heart. Click, 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 click. Shirt with a lot of stuff. Oh, 12 lower reagent cost. I have 100 on this character because I don't want to run out of reagents when I am halfway through a dungeon. There's a setting that you can change in your server config. I think that the default cap is 90, so you always have to keep a few reagents in your bag, but I just don't like that very much. Robe with ninjutsu and lockpicking, a fancy loot and decoration, maul, and a bundle of polar bear furs. Very heavy. Have it back, please. Can I give you? Yeah. As I mentioned before, I am mainly looking for decorations in here. Scroll ladders, no thank you. So that's why I'm ignoring most things. I still have a few characters that I have to gear up, but for the sake of brevity and the video, I will leave everything on the floor. Now we loop all the way around. And go up. Space to be towed. See, with are only doing 60 damage, it's going to take me a long time to take it down. There's a random assortment of many enemies in these corridors. Nothing too fancy, I believe. You just gotta be careful, you need to control your poisons. Let's get rid of this stone as well. Here we have another big room with a few more corpses. And nothing. And it's fine. So as you can see, the main thing on the third floor is that big ant boss. Otherwise, you're going to find a whole lot of corpses around those beetles and spiders. Why can't I reach that? And I think that that's it for this place. There's a lot of monsters scattered around. But they aren't different from the ones we already took down. So I hope you enjoyed the tour of the Mines of Morinia. It's a great place to get your skills up, and I really liked how labyrinthian it is. There are a few dungeons in this game that have an absolutely terrible layout, and oddly enough, this isn't one of them. Hope you have a good time, and to see you again soon. Bye bye.